I do not know why I agree to this when nothing changes. Today I am once again out in town with Karma running errands. Since we've been partners, he insists on me coming with him every day. Why do you need a new dress? Because a lady needs all kinds of dresses in her closet. Variety is key when you want to make a good impression. Why would you want to make a good impression on people in a disguise? A disguise is meant to conceal you. It does not exist to be flaunted. Oh no, darling. I only wear the disguise to stop the curse from working on people. It's not really meant to conceal anything but the fact that I am a man. Being doted on by a married woman or by a woman in love with another man is especially troubling. Is the curse really that powerful? Karma leads me over to the dress store and our conversation pauses when he goes to the store owner to give oh my god, I can't talk. Specifications for a new dress. I can't talk. When we leave, Karma suggests going someplace to reward me for all my hard work. You're treating me? Why wouldn't I, darling? You've been helping me for a while now. What is this feeling? Gratitude? Karma just owed me for everything that I've done for him, so why do I feel like this? You know, it would be much easier for you to just help me carry bags. Oh, there, let's buy one of those cupcakes. Karma cuts through my suggestion easily. Does he really dislike work so much that he'd rather pay me off for helping him? Karma takes me to a stand showcasing all kinds of cupcakes. There are some with colored frosting, others with fancy decorations. Some are especially eye-catching, like a bright blue cupcake decorated with little stars. Anything catch your fancy, ladies? All of them, actually. Alas, I do not think eating them all would be good for my diet. What do you think, Princess? We'll share one. I turn back to the cupcakes when I realize, which I realize are big enough to share between two people. Am I choosing one for myself or one that Karma would like? I guess he's treating me, but two cupcakes catch my eyes. One has a little tiny creature sitting on the top of the frosting. It seems to be a little lizard of sorts, though it is strange. The colors remind me of Karma's dress. The other cupcake is decorated with little white chocolate pearls. These pearls are small and somehow cute, but Karma might like the other cupcake. Oh, so it's between those two. What would you like, Lucette? The fancy cupcake with the lizard. I'll have that one. The one with the... Oh my, is that a chameleon? A chameleon? It is a chameleon. Oh, that's adorable. Sure, we'll take one of those. I was thinking you'd like it for the colors, not the chameleon, whatever that is. Let's go enjoy this somewhere else, shall we? Karma leads me to the middle of the plaza, and the two of us find a table. He walks off to get a fork and a knife before returning and handing a set to me. Do we really need a knife and a fork to eat a cupcake? So, before we got your dress and you distracted me with cupcakes, we were talking about your curse. Were we? It's not an interesting topic. I was glad that we had gotten off that tangent, to be honest. Why don't you want to talk about it? You have your secrets just as I do, Princess. But the whole point of pairing up is to help each other with our curses. Princess, you want to help me? Only because it is necessary that I help him so he can help me. I haven't made any progress helping you, though. You said you would provide me with opportunities. I'm not very good at that, am I? I'm sorry, Princess. Well, I don't think I've done anything for you either. But Princess, you've been helping me for the last few weeks. Whether or not it is an obligation, you still are good company. Good company? No one has ever told me that before. They only tried me for being difficult to speak with. Karma starts cutting the cupcake with his... Oh my god, Karma starts cutting the cupcake, his knife sliding through frosting and cake with ease. I've definitely never seen such refined manners for a simple dessert. What was your life like before the curse, Princess? That is... Oh my god, that is so weird. I have no need to tell you any of that. No, it's not necessary, but I am curious. Would I be doing a good deed in telling him? I don't think so. How about we trade all fact for fact? You give me a story today and I'll give you one tomorrow. What makes you think I'm interested in your life? Well, you do keep asking me about my curse, only because we were working on breaking our curses. Okay, then we won't talk about the past or any secrets. We can talk about this cupcake instead. What? Why does he always insist on changing the topic? Karma cuts the chameleon on top in half. I notice that he gives himself the head, which is a lot cuter, while I get stuck with the tail. Chameleons are little lizards that can blend into their surroundings. Is he willing to go this far to avoid the subject? When I was a child, my father used to call me a chameleon. What? I hid a lot to avoid responsibilities. Oftentimes, no one can find me, not my father nor the servants. If he had servants, then that makes him a noble? One day, I was out searching for a mythical creature in our garden, and I came upon the chameleon. It was a silly little lizard, but I'd only found it because I was looking for something fantastic. The lizard on the cupcake does not seem all that fantastic. My father explained what it was to me, and then he started calling me his silly little chameleon. It was ridiculous, but he said I was always very good at hiding, and so it suited me. What is it, princess? It seems like you are still good at hiding. You hide behind your disguise and keep many secrets. I suppose I'm still a chameleon then. I don't think that nickname makes any sense. Sometimes they don't have to. Nicknames don't have to make sense to be endearing, princess. Can we please just get back to the subject at hand? Yes, this cupcake. If you insist on sharing a story for a story, then I will tell you something about me. Oh? You didn't seem the type to want to share. I normally do not see any reason for sharing things about my past, no. Mother once told me that to confide in someone else was a weakness. But more than that, I was always worried that others would judge me. No one has ever wanted to listen to me. I know enough about others' opinions of me to know that they think I am the one at fault, always. I wouldn't judge you, princess. I wouldn't judge you for not wanting to say anything to me. I divulged nothing to you after all. A story for a story. That is the deal, right? I expect you to keep to it. Or rather, a fact for a fact. It is not like I have to tell him everything, just something about myself. I will tell you about my life at the palace. It's not as if it's a secret, though I doubt Karma would understand. Ever since Mother died, the palace has been a cold place. Why the surprise? Is it because you see Emily and Rod and assume you're all big one happy family? I do have to admit that Princess Emmeline seems quite gentle. Prince Rod is quiet, but he seems like an honorable man. When I saw you and the princess at the dress store, Princess Emmeline seemed very nice, is she not? Her kindness is fragile at best. She tries far too hard for it to be genuine. Her insistence is irritating. I have never wanted to be friends with her. The king took a second wife after my mother died, as if she never mattered to him. Karma is silent and I continue to talk, my emotions loosening my tongue. I had meant to stop there, but the words kept coming. The only one who ever showed me any affection in the palace was Mother. The king never paid much attention to me in the first place, but he treats Rod and Emmeline far better than he has ever treated me. What was your mother like? All of my fondest memories are of her. She was always with me in the palace, teaching me right from wrong. She taught me how not to show weakness, who to speak with. Who to speak with? Needless conversation is useless. People are often very likely to lead you astray. That was the reason I never saw any reason to speak with the townsfolk. Will you judge me as everyone else does? No, princess, I'm not judging you. I'm just a little sad. Sad? Why would he be sad? It sounds like you lived an empty life. It was not an empty life. But it sounds as if your mother separated you from everyone. It wasn't as if the townsfolk would have accepted me anyway. Mother said they were not to be trusted. Princess, about your mother. I will not hear you speak ill of Mother. No, I only had a question about your mother. Karma coughs and I pause to stare at him as he clears his throat. What is it? This? Oh, gods. Oh, I hear the change immediately. His voice is lower, far lower. The soft gentleness gone. Karma puts a hand to his throat and grumbles. Oh my god. Karma's voice is teetering on the edge of sounding unmistakably male. I've always wondered how he's able to change his voice, but I always forget to ask him about it. What happened to your voice? Oh, it's Miss Karma. I turn to see a young market girl approaching us. She looks at Karma adoringly. I've always wanted to speak with you, Miss Karma, ever since you complimented my dress that one time in the dress store. Your dress is lovely today, as always, Miss Karma. Karma? Miss Karma, are you okay? I am quite fine. I cannot help but giggle as the girl takes a step back, looking shocked by Karma's now deep voice. Karma curses again in his deep voice before forcing a bright smile on his face. Excuse me, I'm feeling under the weather. I noticed that he's trying to change the pitch of his voice, but the highness is only annoying rather than soothing now. Oh, I'm sorry. Karma turns to me urgently, but I am too amused to offer any sort of assistance. Oh, she's smiling! What is it, Miss Karma? Karma's smile is forced, and his eyes are glaring at me. I laugh once again, not able to help myself. His expression softens, but only slightly. Ooh. Tease him. He obviously wants to leave, but I cannot help myself. Miss Karma, I do wish you would say something. At the very least, you should thank this girl for her compliment. Oh no, it's quite alright. Come on, Karma, you're usually the most charming person on these streets. Thank you. He sounds like he is dying right now. I cannot help but start laughing again. The small annoyance on Karma's face seems to dissipate completely. Leaving. He takes my hand and courtesy politely to the girl as he pulls me away. Karma, you sound sick. It's run out. Run out? The potion that Parfait makes for me. I must have talked too much. You talk too much? Karma puts a finger to his lips as we stroll through town. He shakes his head, making it clear that he won't speak to me until later. When we arrive at the tavern, it is already dark. Karma pauses and turns to look at me. What? You have a nice smile, Princess Lucette. I'm glad I can make you laugh. Well, of course I laugh. You sounded ridiculous. It's worth sounding ridiculous just to see you smile. You and Rumple really are the same. The comment does not faze him. He smiles widely as he leaves for his room. Aww. I'm glad I can make you laugh. I cannot get those words out of my head, even though I'm supposed to be resting for the night. I think I should go see if Karma is practicing with Jurian or Garland. I leave my room and go down to the reception room. Delora and Parfait let me go to the forest at night alone now, since they know that I'm meeting up with Karma. Parfait is in the reception room tonight reading a book. I was always told reading in the dark was bad for your eyes. Oh, Princess, I didn't see you. I noticed that she's closed the book and I can now read the cover. She is reading Cinderella? That's my Fairytale Curse. The Great War was caused by the fairy tales, right? Yes, that's right. And yet you are reading one. The curses are based off of these fairy tales after all. But why are you reading Cinderella? My curse isn't anything like the fairy tale, it's reversed. True, but the morals remain the same. In order to become Cinderella, you must be good like her. Cinderella had everything handed to her by a fairy godmother. I had everything taken away. Princess, have you truly had everything taken away from you? Compared to what I used to have, what I have now might as well be nothing. You have friendships and people who enjoy your company. No one in this tavern enjoys my company. Are you sure about that, Princess? I think you just have difficulty trusting that we all like you. Like me? Why would you like me? You've become like family here. I haven't even been here for that long. It doesn't matter. Everyone here at the Marchand is family. Family? You are saying that everyone at the Marchand is like family? Princess, you're one of my boarders. You're more than just a regular here. You live with us, and so, like I said, you're family. I speak more with the people here than I've ever spoken to my own family. In the palace, I was always alone. The only person I could speak with was Fritz. Are you going to watch Karma practice? I nod in response. Be safe, Princess. As I head to the door, I recalled what happened earlier today. Parfait, what is this potion you make for Karma? You mean the potion I make to change his voice? He begged me to help him when he first designed his disguise. Karma makes a beautiful woman, but he didn't think the illusion was complete without a convincing voice. You know how picky he is. Something else in your mind, Princess? Karma hides his curse, but you must know the conditions for breaking it, don't you? Parfait does not answer. Or are you also keeping it a secret? Princess said, not everyone likes to talk about their curse. I think it would be better if you asked Karma directly. I just don't understand why he won't tell me everything when I'm trying to help him. Just as you think your good deeds are difficult, there is also something about karma's curse that he can't come to terms with. I put my hand to the necklace around my neck. I still haven't performed any good deeds. Can I really do this? I'm going now. I walk out the front door and into the forest. I decide not to think about all this, at least not until later. I wish this was all simpler and that karma wasn't cloaked in so many secrets. Nope, another memory. Mother, I went to town today. Oh, I told you not to go into town. Did your father take you? He told me that it would be fun. And was it? No, everyone looked really angry at me, but I don't know why. I've told you before, haven't I, dearest one? The townsfolk are jealous of you. Jealous? They are bitter about their lot in life, and because of that, they will seek to use you for your status. You cannot trust them, Lucette. You cannot trust anyone but me. Trusting others will only lead to heartbreak, Lucette. You only need me to trust you because I will never hurt you. Chapter 5. Favors and payback. Favors, oh my gosh. I have been at the marching for a good couple of months now, and I still haven't managed to do a single good deed. Today, I went out to town with Waltz to buy ingredients for parfait. The two of us have both been very quiet, which is uncharacteristic for Waltz. Princess, what? Did Karma explain why he wasn't coming with you today? Princess, does Waltz not like my company? Is that why he is asking why he had to fill in for Karma? He said he was tired. Oh. Waltz turns his head, his eyebrows furrowing in confusion. The town feels different today. It does? If I feel as if there are people watching us, how can you tell? With practice, I have a lot of eyes on me when I'm doing my puppet shows after all. Even before then, I was used to being watched, I guess, because you were cursed. Before you were cursed, why? Well, I guess I was more conspicuous as an adult, I guess. An adult, oh right. You have the Neverland Curse. You remembered, yes, I have the Neverland Curse. I told you about what that was in the tavern once. You are stuck as a child when you should be a man. Right, it's a little inconvenient, but I've gotten used to it. Waltz is so much more straightforward about his curse than Karma. The two of us go into a store where we find the little cups that Parfait asked us to buy. After I pay, Waltz automatically picks up the bags. His help is nice for a change. I have become so accustomed to carrying the bags on my own. So, have you made any progress on your good deeds? You can see from my necklace that I'm not, but you've changed. I still don't see how I have changed at all. Karma hasn't taught me anything about doing good. Sometimes in order to do good, you need to realize some things about yourself first. Maybe Karma's not so bad at helping you with that. He is selfish, flamboyant, acts as if the world revolves around him. But you're still partnered with him. I am. I'm okay with Karma's company. Most of the people judge and shun me. But Karma hasn't done that. He's even mentioned enjoying my company. I have become more tolerant of him too. Oh, Princess. Waltz's eyes light up and I see him pointing ahead to a crowd of people gathered around the center of town. A woman stands in the middle of the crowd telling people's fortunes. We should go see if we can get our fortunes told. Come on. The crowd around the room only grows larger until nearly half of the plaza has been taken up. I find myself pushed around in the crowd as I try to follow Waltz. The crowd is dense though, and in no time at all I've lost him. Waltz! I call for him, but I do not see him over the dozens of people in front of me. I will wait for him at the outskirts of the crowd. He should be able to find me. I make my way out of the crowd into the edges of an alleyway. But Waltz still does not appear. 10 minutes go by and I consider walking back into the crowd when I hear a voice behind me. Are you looking for someone, madam? I feel someone grab my hand. I slap them away and take a step back when I turn and I find a man standing behind me in the alleyway. Didn't mean to startle you. What do you want? What? I want to help you return to the palace, Princess Lucette. What? You know who I am? I do, Princess, and I can lead you back to the palace. Who are you? Someone who's working for the king. But the king does not remember me. The only people that would remember you are witches, fairies, and those with a curse. So who exactly is this man? You're lying. Princess, why would I ever lie to you? Now come, I'm sure everyone at the palace will be very happy to see you. Bro. The man grabs my hand roughly and begins trying to pull me through the alleyway. The first thing I try to do is scream, but the man clamps his free hand over my mouth. The crowd is getting farther from us and no one can see us in the shadows. Princess, I swear on my word I'm bringing you back to the palace. Ooh. No, fight back. I have to fight back. Maybe I can still draw people's attention to me. I try to squirm my way out of the man's arms, but it does not work. He chuckles lightly at me until I elbow him in the stomach. For a few moments that I am free, I try to run, but all too soon, the man grabs me again with the same punishing grip over my mouth and nose to stop me from screaming. You're a real feisty one, ain't ya? I feel like I might faint. In one last attempt to get free, I tug at the man's hand with my own and manage to shift it just enough until I can bite down on it. Ow! The man screams in pain, his grip finally loosening. I can hear him curse as I run away from him. Oh my god. Bro, get away. A few minutes later, I realize I have gone in the wrong direction. I soon come to a dead end in the alleyway and I can hear the man running up behind me. What is this I see before me? Karma. Oh my god. I look up to see Karma standing on the rooftop right above us in his disguise holding a sword, a broad grin on his face. Madam, you might hurt yourself playing with that sword. You might want to put it down. What's this, sir? Do you feel threatened by me? You should. Karma jumps down from the building and raises his sword in front of him. His eyes are angry, his earlier jovial personality fallen away. Anyone that attacks a lady has to pay for the crime. Karma rushes forward, moving faster than I can see, even in his long dress. The glint of the sword causes the man to fall backwards, loosening his grip on me. I step back from the man's hold and watch as Karma points his sword at the man's neck. Now, I have a sword and you do not. Do you really want to test your luck, sir? This ain't worth it. The man runs off, leaving me alone with Karma in the alleyway. What's this? You were a lot cockier just a few minutes ago. I breathe out slowly as relief washes over me. Princess! Waltz approaches from where the man had run. So, did you meet the coward fellow on your way here? I bumped into a man who looked as if he was running from death. Oh my, I feel oddly accomplished. Karma in Waltz's voice had become faint and indistinct as my vision blurs. I am suddenly light on my feet. All the adrenaline from earlier has dissipated into thin air. I feel tired. Princess. Oh, she passed out. Before I can collapse, I feel arms pulling me back up. Rest easy, Princess Lucette. I close my eyes and fall into blackness. Oh. When I wake up, 𝐈𝐧𝐿 is setting a tray of food down on my bedside table. She does not notice as I rise slowly from bed. 𝐈𝐧𝐿. Oh, Princess, you're up. We were worried about you. Lady Delora and Lady Parfait said you were just out because of shock, but still. How long have I been asleep? Just a few hours, Princess. Don't worry about chores for now. Lady Parfait says that if you're feeling better later, you can use Mr. Broom. Just thinking about using Mr. Broom gives me a headache. Where are Karma and Waltz? Waltz is scouting the town looking for the man that captured you. And Karma? I think he might be in his room, Princess. He's got patrol tonight, so he's resting a little bit. If he has patrol tonight, then that must mean he was resting this morning, too. How did he know I needed help? Do you need anything, Princess? No, I'm going to go visit Karma. What? To thank him? However, he knew if Karma hadn't been there, things would not have ended so well. Yes. That's sweet, Princess. Oh, Lady Delora wants to talk to you about what happened when you're feeling up to it. Okay. I wait until 𝐈𝐧𝐿 leaves the room before I follow after her. It is only after I exit my room that I do not realize where Karma's room is. 𝐈𝐧𝐿 must have assumed that I already knew with us being partners and all. It's fine. I do not need 𝐈𝐧𝐿's assistance for this. I can find Karma's room on my own. It takes me some time, but eventually I find a room with his name on the door in careful, flowery letters. It suits him. I simply open the door without thinking to knock. Oh no. Oh no! Bro! Oh my gosh. I expected to find Karma laying in bed, but instead he is standing in front of the mirror changing his clothes. Princess? Oh. I don't think I've ever seen a shirtless man before. Oh, indeed. Bro. He turns to me and the realization that he is just standing there in his pants hits me hard in the stomach. My face feels incredibly uncomfortably warm. Why are you just standing there? Put on your clothes. And then I notice the large tattoo on his chest. It is a road ensnared by many vines. I stare at it for a few moments before Karma puts a hand there to conceal it. It's rude to come into a lady's room unannounced, you know. Karma slips his usual dress on carefully over his head and then approaches me. I take a step back without realizing. Karma raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me mischievously. It is a familiar look, but it arouses me more now than it ever has before. My princess, you're as red as a tomato. Are you okay? Lucette, does this man always need to point out the obvious? I'm fine. There's no need to shout, darling. Now, what did you come here for? To see the beautiful Karma? Does everything always have to revolve around you? Well, you are breaking into my room. I'm barely able to stifle a sigh. Well, I cross my arms in front of him. His smile makes it harder to get my next words out. I came here to thank you. Do my ears deceive me? What did you say, princess? Princess, thank you for saving me. I saw you fight back. There was a very admirable attempt. You saw me? Yes, as you were coming to the end of the alleyway, but I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter, princess. You certainly made the effort. But I digress. You are quite welcome, princess. It was my pleasure. I should leave. Wait, what? I turn to leave, but Karma grabs my hand and pulls me back. But princess, don't you owe me something? So Karma was expecting something in return after all. I should have known. I think you owe me an apology. You did come into my room unannounced after all. What is he talking about? Since you broke into my room, I demand you to help me with my makeup. Then I will forget your transgression. Your makeup? Yes, darling. I thought you were resting because you were going on patrol tonight. Resting? Nonsense. I have much to do. My makeup earlier was so messy that I washed my face in order to reapply it. I cannot believe I'm going to agree to this. Fine. Ah, what a splendid day today is. Come, princess. Let's do this by a mirror. Karma pulls me over to the mirror where I can see both of our faces reflected. He has a surprising variety of makeup on the dresser beside him. I do not even care that much for my appearance. Why am I even helping Karma with his makeup? Now, which feature on the face do you think is the most important one to highlight, princess? What? What are your eyes attracted to most on a person's face? When they're laughing, when they smile? Why is he asking me for my opinion on something so trivial? If someone was smiling, the first feature I would look at on their face would be the lips. Despite myself, I find my gaze dropping to Karma's lips. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? The lips? Oh my, princess, I didn't think I'd ever hear you say that. Wait, I didn't think I'd ever hear you say that you looked at my lips when I smiled. I did not say that. Oh, but you did. And princess, I do believe you are blushing. Even though Karma never said he was referring to his features, I thought about his lips anyway. The thought makes my heart flop, though I do not have the faintest idea why. Anyway, I agree. Though eyes are important, a smile isn't quite as brilliant without the lips. Without the lips? I try to imagine a smile without lips and shudder. Sorry, princess, I misspoke. Try to dispel the image from your mind. Anyway, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Just don't make me look like a clown, princess. I know how much you like to tease me, but I need to get out of here quickly today. If you need to leave quickly, shouldn't you do your makeup yourself? And miss the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense. If I can, I'll have you help me with my hair some other time. The way you do yours is beautiful. I always put effort into my hair, as mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. But I've never received a compliment on my hairstyle before. Karma gives me his makeup supplies and I start layering the color on his face. When we are this close, I cannot help but carefully inspect every one of his features. I do not even think I even did something like this with mother. You know, Princess, I don't think I deserve your thanks. I pause and raise an eyebrow at him. What? You've been helping me for a while, and I haven't helped you with your curse at all. What I did today was just coincidence. Coincidence? I'd heard you went to town with Waltz, and so I followed you two. I only happened to catch what happened in the alleyway. You managed to see me even when there were many people who didn't? I have good eyes, probably. Probably. It is not like you to be so humble. Lucette, I am once again offended. And why were you following us in the first place? You said you were too tired to go into town today. I was worried. It was strange not accompanying you today. Worried? Why would you be worried? Carmen looks puzzled for a few moments. He glances at himself in the mirror solemnly, then shrugs. Intuition, perhaps. Waltz mentioned something about feeling watched. Is there something that Waltz and Karma are watching out for that I am not? Karma closes his eyes momentarily, and I take the opportunity to dust his eyes with eyeshadow. He does not seem to mind. Princess, you haven't spoken about what happened today with Delora Parfait, have you? No, not yet. You came to thank me first? Yes. Oh. Karma falls into silence, and I continue to work, sweeping blush on his high cheekbones. Princess, do you know anything about the man who tried to drag you away today? No, he said that he only worked for the king before telling me that he would take me back to the palace. I wonder how he recognized you. I was wondering that myself. How curious and alarming. The only ones who should pose a problem at this time are witches. Witches? What do they want to do with me? Well, I only mean that witches are the only ones who can see through our curses. So that man spoke with a witch? It's possible. But why? Why would the witches want me back at the palace? Or was that man trying to lead me somewhere else? I suppose either way, the man couldn't have wanted to bring me back to the palace for a good reason. Is it possible that a witch gave a commoner a description of you, but then why would... Karma stops talking and looks at me with something like sympathy. Sorry, I'm just running my head for ideas. Are the witches really so dangerous? And what do they want with me in the first place? Rest assured, Princess, we will figure this out. I nod my head slowly. I have a lot of questions for Delora and Parfait, but it is possible that even they not might know everything. I will need to think on my own as well, just in case they decide to keep more of their secrets. I look at Karma and shake my head. Next time I will be more aware. I won't let myself be caught unaware. Before I realize it, Karma has his hand on my cheek and is staring at me solemnly. His eyes are as cold and unmoving as steel. Princess, there won't be a next time. That's what I said. Next time, I'll make sure that you're definitely not alone. Had I been alone today, I might have actually been kidnapped. I know that, but I cannot show weakness. I just need to be more cautious. I am not some damsel in distress, you know. Having someone at your back is far more comforting. Even on a battlefield, knights fight better together. What's wrong? Nothing. He moves his hand away from my face and stands up sighing. His eyes look suddenly distant and his posture is stiff. I think we're about done here, right? I haven't finished your makeup though. Wait, why am I even concerned about that? Oh, sometimes simple is better, or would you like me to sit back down? I do enjoy being pampered by you, Princess. I take it back, we are definitely done. Good, thank you for your hard work. In an instant, the mood changes and a bright smile once again graces Karma's face. As much as I hate to do this, I'm gonna have to leave you, darling. I have business in town and then a patrol later tonight. I probably won't see you for the rest of the day, but thank you. He is thanking me for putting his makeup on. It was such a small thing. You're welcome. You already thanked me, though. Well, now you can tell I'm twice as thankful as a normal person. That doesn't make any sense, but it's Karma. A lot of things he says does not make any sense. I leave the room with Karma and he leaves the tavern as I go to find Parfait and Delora. The two of them are seated together in the reception, speaking in hushed voices when I arrive. They both pause to look up at me as I walk into the room. Well, if it isn't the princess, took you long enough to come see us. Anise told us you were unharmed. We're glad to see you've saved, Princess. So, how about telling us what happened? When prompted, I tell them everything that transpired in the alleyway. The two listen and only exchange a solemn glance when I'm done. Do you know something about all this that I don't? Why would the witches be after me in the first place? You remember what we said about the Ten of Baron corrupting witches? Well, those witches don't like seeing curses broken. They meddle where they can because they can. That is why I cast a glamour on you when you arrived here so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you. To protect me. I feel like there is more to this that they are hiding, but I do not think any amount of convincing will get them to say anything. Forgive us, Princess. We're not entirely sure what's going on either, though if it was a human that captured you, he must be working the witches somehow. Troublesome to say the least, but we don't know the details yet. Give us some time to figure things out. Until we figure out who that man is and who he is working for, you need to have an escort with you out of the margins at all times. Do you understand? And once you figure it out, you will tell me. The two exchange another look, which only makes me more frustrated. They are obviously keeping secrets and right in front of me. We'll tell you once everything falls into place. Don't worry, Princess. We would never let you be put in any danger. The silence is what ends our conversation. I make my way back to my room, feet heavy. I feel like a fly caught in a spider's web. I try my best to clear my mind as I return to my room. The days go by slowly and I make no progress with my curse. Karma is busy with the knights today and Zalora and Parfait are busy talking with Rumble about his curse in his room. Tonight is the perfect night to go and wander the town by myself. I need to see if I can find out anything about the witches and what is happening around the kingdom. Zalora and Parfait are not going to tell me anything, and no one has wanted to take me out of the margin since the kidnapping attempt. These thoughts spiral helplessly in my mind as I sit at a table. I have just finished working for the day, and the activity in the margin is beginning to wind down. Garland stands at the door as the last few customers leave the margin. Jurian is walking around the room to make sure there are no problems. Out of the corner of my eyes, I notice two men pause halfway across the room to glance back at her. I can overhear their words from where I am. Shame that she's a knight, eh? She's the proud type, too proud to let a man dote on her. Bleeding shame indeed, but do you think if I tried to say something to her, you too? Ooh. Garland is suddenly standing behind the two men, an uncharacteristically dark glare on his face. Is there a problem? Doors are closing for the night. I'm going to ask you to please leave. No need to be so uptight, lad. We were on our way out now. The two men walk out, and Garland stands in the middle of the tavern area glaring after them. He more or less pushed them out of the tavern. If Anise had seen that, she'd probably have scolded him. Garland. You okay? Of course. You think you can fool me? I've known you long enough to know that something's bothering you. Neither of the knights seem to notice me here. If they do, they ignore me. Jurian is still looking insistently at Garland, who looks down at the floor. Is he going to say something to her? Garland says nothing, though. He looks at a loss for words. Finally, Jurian reaches out and pokes his shoulder, and he looks up startled. Still the same as always, a silent, watchful knight. Only say things with certainty when he knows they're the truth. Even the princess is waiting for you to say something. Both knights turn to look at me, and Garland seems surprised. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he hurriedly looks away. Patrol is starting soon. I'll head out first. Okay, stay safe. Garland nods at her with a little smile before he leaves the tavern. Going to sleep soon, Princess? I was just going to head up. I stand up and get ready to move up to my room, but stop once more to look at Jurian. Did you hear what those men were saying? Oh, about me being too proud or something? So she did hear them, but chose to say nothing. It doesn't bother me, they're right. I've been independent for a long time, and I would never think about pledging my safety to a man I barely know. I can take care of myself. Blunt and to the point, Jurian was really admired for that honesty in the palace. The only other men I've trusted before are my fellow knights, Garland most of all, since we've always been partners. She does not explain any further. I decide that is for the better. The sooner everyone has cleared out, the sooner I can leave the margin. Tonight is the night I go looking for answers. I don't like this. Sorry, Karma. But I can handle myself. I'm going to prove it tonight. I may not be able to fight, but I can still be cautious enough to not land myself into trouble. Still, I do not happen to hear much of anything as I'm exploring the town tonight. What? I should have brought along some kind of weapon, but then I would have to steal a knife from the kitchen. I'm not a thief. Hours pass before I pass a tavern filled with knights. Deciding that I will at least listen to what is happening at the palace, I linger by the open door and listen to what the men are saying. I hear that young Fritz is having a hard time of it. Oh, God. I feel bad for the lad. Even Sir Castro thinks he's gone mad. Well, he does keep talking about princess that doesn't exist. Oh, God. Fritz still remembers me, but how? Even his father is growing wary of his babbling. Sir Mithras forced him on break the other day. He didn't seem happy. Well, Sir Mithras must think he's crazy too. Poor Fritz. Can you keep a secret? The knights look at each other and lean as close as I possibly can. Apparently the boy spoke some truth, though Sir Castro doesn't quite believe it. He's looking for the daughter of the previous queen. The witch had a daughter? Oh. The previous queen? Are they talking about mother? How dare they call her a witch? Apparently she did, though I don't remember her having... though I don't ever remember such a girl. This is top secret stuff. I just happened to wrestle this out of one of the lackeys looking for her. What would Sir Castro need this girl for? I'm assuming that she's dangerous and that they want to get rid of her. Are they talking about me? I'm curious, how are we supposed to find this imaginary princess anyway? Does she have any features? They described her features. Last man who went looking for her says she wore a special pendant around her neck. Oh, God. I should get out of here. I turn to leave the tavern, but my cloak snags on the door and falls to the floor, tripping me up in the process. I end up falling halfway into the tavern where the chatter abruptly stopped. Is this? Oh, a lady. The knights that were talking approach me. One of them picks up my cloak. I attempt to grab my cloak from their fingers, but they pull it away from me and I stumble into one of them. Madam. He moves to take my hand and then he stops and he sees my face. Her face and a necklace. You think she was spying on us? Well, which? One of the knights grabs me by the wrist and pulls me toward him. He is far more stronger than the men in the alleyway was. Unhand me right now. I am no witch. Then there should be no problem. We're just going to take you in and then there's some if there's some big misunderstanding, we'll repay you ourselves, miss. No, let me go. This behavior is not fitting of a knight. Come now, miss. Let's go back quietly. Try to convince them. Fighting back is useless when I am outnumbered. I have to try convincing them that I'm not who they think I am. You are mistaken, sirs. I happen to hear your conversation and assuming I am some imaginary princess is unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening in our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Did you not hear what I just said? I happened to overhear it, nothing more. You were cloaked, as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to myself, such as a lady. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man. Then, madam, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we are mistaken, we'll clear up the misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Come on, let's take her to the palace. Oh my God, that's... The knights lead me out onto the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? And the knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There is fear in their eyes. But I have done nothing wrong. Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. I don't know. I'm suspicious of... Who goes there? Karma. I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking towards us. What is he doing here, and why isn't he in his disguise? Gentlemen, I ask you to unhand that woman. As a knight, I would be ashamed to be seen treating a lady so terribly. And who are you? Her husband. His what? Unhand her, gentlemen, or chase my blade. Sir, we were just going to take her to the palace too. I will give you on the count of 3. One knight keeps his grip on me as the other draws his sword. I stare at Karma, who continues to count, though the knight attacks him before his sword leaves his sheath. Karma and the knight trade blows. But it is Karma that comes out victorious. His blade sliced past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with his free hand to knock the knight out with a blow to the head. It may just be my imagination, but for For a few moments, I think I see the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me holds up his hands in surrender. I yield, sir. It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. Please, sir. Oh. Karma knocks him out and then stands beside me as he sheathes his sword. Karma, a few moments, Lucette. Karma spends some time forcing a potion from a veil down each of the knight's throats. I watch him quietly, fearing that he might have killed them, but the knights only seem to be asleep. A potion that Parfait gave me. It will make the men forget they ever saw you. When Karma stands again, I notice a glimmer of blood on his hand and stare. You're hurt. It's nothing. I'm sorry. Come on, princess, let's go back. He pulls me right out onto the main street and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Karma has saved me twice now. Not only that, but this time he is injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloody hand does not move at all. Why do I have to be so stubborn and insist that I can handle myself? I do not speak for a long time. Eventually, I notice people start to stare. Oh. Though before long, the staring grows worse. Young women begin following us, giggling from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Karma. Sorry, princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls were walking right behind us. This is his curse? Karma. Lucette, I just said that I'm not in the mood to talk. Did you not hear me? We are being followed. He stares behind us almost stupidly and then laughs hollowly when the girls see his face. They start to rush towards us, their voices rising and blending together into horrendous cacophony. Karma is not moving though. He looks resigned. Maybe he is too tired to realize what he wants to do. I tighten my grip on Karma's hands and pull him away, my pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming at me angrily for taking Karma away from them. Lucette, what are you doing? Getting us out of here. Lucette. I lead him through the town and into little nooks and crannies where we managed to lose some of the crowd. Karma often led me through some of these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew them too. Once we are alone again, I stop, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hand as I catch my breath. That really was a curse, having to run away from so many mindless women. That was difficult. Lucette, what? I do not mean to snap, but the tiredness is pressing on me too. You helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why would I want to be chased by girls? You could have left me behind and gone on alone, but instead you helped me. You helped me too. I guess I paid you back. Though to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving me. I just knew that I didn't want Karma to be stuck trying to fend off all those girls. He was right about his curse. That is terrible. I just realized something. Karma kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. My curse has people forget me, and yours has even strangers become fascinated with you. It's almost like our curses are opposite of each other, and yet we seem so similar. My eyes widen when I realize what I just said. We are similar, aren't we? He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern through the abandoned alleyways. My feet are heavy and all I want to do is sleep, but suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Lucette, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and made it more difficult on you. It was so sudden and I was so tired I had no motivation to move. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. You should not have gone out on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology too because I lost sleep over this. I have no words for how I feel right now, princess. Aww! Cute! Karma reaches for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. Suddenly, all my tiredness falls away. You really are a handful. But a delightful handful. I'm going to bandage this hand and then rest. We'll speak later about all this, okay? But the bleeding stopped on its own, Lucette. But it doesn't need to be treated. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie. Not even for the sake of a pretty